I guess I get another shot at the first level. So that timing has always been really safe for me. I don't know if the ball was already coming off the switch just a tiny bit. It was odd that I didn't jump out of the water like usual. Maybe I need to be mashing at the top. But the game typically does mash out of the water for you. Maybe I just hit like a weird tick on that. Because I think the jump when you're at the surface of the water ticks at about the game rate.
Are you all right? That was quite a fall you took. Listen, the crane broke down. We have to fly in a replacement, and that will take some time. Go on and explore the area. We'll meet up with you later.
All right. A little late probably on that jump, but that's alright. Jumping early is bad. Jumping late, not quite as bad. I do like how it tells you to walk onto the button. You can do anything onto the button. Although if just like moving without jumping is walking, and then there's jumping, that means your character can't run. Which probably explains all the jumping. Feels like you move at a reasonable pace. But no, you walk onto the switch. That looks pretty good. Okay. A little slow there. The ball rolled back down the slope. A little slow there too. I should have pulled off about a second or so early. Maybe it was less than a second. Maybe it's half a second. Timings like that really mess with your head in terms of like, okay, if I don't get this exactly, how much of a time loss is it versus if I go too early and have to reset the puzzle. Please? Alright. That was risky. Hey. Oh, a little early on that jump there. I was a bit tempted to try and hit the ball down first, because that does have a tendency to be slightly faster, but I did not do that. Worked out. Work your magic. Okay. There we go. I don't like that hit. It's really close to knocking it in. Let's go. Okay. Bull. Okay. Come on, cube. Let it happen. This happened last run, too. It's like it wants me in the corner I can't quite get to. I think I just got it. Yeah. Slow. That's okay. I have time to save later. That approach is way less reset heavy, so... Plus I got that jump. So this will probably be like right around the same split as my PB. Oh no, I'm saving like 10 seconds. Gold split? What? I did the same thing as last time. Beginning of this level. Yeah, obviously, what was that, like 650 something, 649 is not my PB for an IL of that, because the IL is a lot more YOLO, where you don't, you do the setup with the ball, you just like hit the cube in and hope you can get it back out. I even think my PB, or yeah, my IL PB is a 2 cube. Maybe it's not. Because like the world record IL on that is insane. It's like they had to have just hit it out immediately each time. Okay, yep, great. You don't actually want to go quite all the way to the bottom there, but it is a bit difficult to control. Because you still want to end up in front of the ball, but if you try and get too far in front of the ball too quickly, you end up getting messed up. Okay, sure, whatever. Yeah, the water's just being different today. I went down really fast. Huh. Okay, odd. I have to be careful with the ball there. I have gotten it stuck in that doorway several times. Okay, arrow traps. How are we feeling today? I'll take it, 20. I mean, it's not 0, but 20 is manageable. It means I can go slightly riskier here. Those were feeling a lot feistier, though. Jeez. What? What? I've never seen it roll like that. That's it's got to be a time save. Because I think the ball is the limiting factor there, not your swim speed. I guess your swim speed is probably the limiting factor. It's a little bit of both, depending on how consistently you're able to hit the ball through there. Getting stuck on the shield? No. Still had to hit it once more. Slopes, my worst enemy. Okay. Alright. Coolio. Rope on fire, check. Usually takes me 1 or 2 more hits than that. That cube is fine, the physics are fine on it, but the cage is kind of finicky. Okay, dead. Okay. Oop, okay, well, I thought I got blocked there, but instead I just got trolled, so. You stay there. Okay, which side did the ball end up on? The bad side. Okay. Please, thank you. Bonus kill there. Shouldn't have gotten in the way of my ball. Ooh, slow there. Usually you get a boost from the ball, but I'd gotten a bit hesitant. I was worried about grabbing it on the way down the slope, and so it was too far behind me. The boost is cool. I mean, it saves a little bit of time. You go fast for like half of one of those rooms. Yeah, places like that where I'm trying to avoid grabbing the ball down a slope. But if you're airborne and you grab the ball, it doesn't slow you down until you land, so. Alright, we're at the end. Yeah. Don't do this. Alright. That was slow. Usually don't get caught up in there. I was trying a slightly different jump pattern, which is why that happened. Because usually I'm a bit conservative jumping through there. I'll only fit in like 2 or 3 going one way in that tunnel and the same going the other way. Because the little exposed entrances are slightly angled, the ceilings of them are, so depending which direction you're jumping in, if you touch those, they either like stop you dead or give you a slight boost, and I can never remember which is which because it's like the same one. But I think the model's flipped around, so you can't just, you know, okay, I can jump through aggressively this way and carefully the other way. It's like the entrance is one and the exit is the other. Minecart Ride 1. Near the end of the level. Not quite the end of the level. There's still like 2.5 potentially bad things that can happen. As long as I'm paying attention, it's really only like 1 though, so. Yeah, I have a pretty consistent setup for that. Oh, spicy. Those guys just juke however they want to. Alright, here's the half thing that I have to pay attention to. There we go, alright. One time I accidentally made it across that bridge before it collapsed because I was, I guess, moving too quickly, and then I was confused and lost time. Because I was not in the part that collapsed like I was supposed to be. There's no advantage to that, like you can't actually get through the door on the other side. It's decorative. Alright. 2 of these 3 blocks have the potential to troll me. This one's usually pretty good now that I know what can happen with it. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, that looks good. Oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. Wasn't the best, wasn't the worst. Ow. I wonder if you can actually die there. Probably can. I've never died in the end sequence of this game, but it may also be possible to do that. Alright. Minecart ride number 2. Yeah, so I picked up more time on Oztalk 1. I'm trying to remember what my mistake was on that one. It wasn't a death to the arrow traps, though that did happen to me yesterday. That was kind of upsetting. You know, I don't remember. There were some segments I went slow, that's what I remember. Or not segments, there were some parts of that level. Guess you could call them segments if I wanted to remember to hit the split button 3 times as often and actually like split within the levels. There are not like a massive number of times you can actually take your hand off the mouse though to split. So I'd have to map it to my right hand and then like, I guess I could do it with my pinky. I was supposed to be holding space sooner than that. Okay, this is slightly slower than the other way, but it does guarantee the balls behind me for the switch, so it's not quite as slow as it might look. The other way is jumping like between and over those rocks, but the ball does have a tendency to kind of like do weird stuff. Alright, let's get the boost. Yeah. It's not any faster. Okay. Oh. I would say that's always a bit sketchy, but sometimes I feel really good about that jump. That was not one of those times, though. Ball behaving a little weird there. Yeah, good. Keep it in the corner there. Man, that is super cool when you do it fast. And that was not particularly fast, but still feels good. Okay. Alright. My Oztalk 2 time was also not good in my PB, so we'll see how the rest of this goes. Though I did improve on my currently submitted speedrun.com record by not dying to the lava. So... Actually, I've gotten Fast Lava Room 1 several... Okay. Hold on. The last several times I've done this, but now that I've said that, I'm definitely not getting it. As long as I don't stick the ball on the wall like I did yesterday, should be okay. It happens. Oh my lord, hit the switch. That's not supposed to happen. That's kind of supposed to be guaranteed. Alright, switch. Yes. Good. Yeah, it's not happening. I'll just do it the slow way. Alright. Cool. Whatever. It's fine. Everything's fine. Yeah, you can basically do that puzzle in 2 human presses and 2 ball switch presses, but, okay, there you go. The ball kind of has to behave, that was a little bit slow. Although if you do this too quickly, it actually messes up the second button and doesn't, like, register you pushing it, which is obnoxious. But I was not in danger of that. I was going pretty slow. Okay. Okay, don't bump the ball. What are we doing today, ball? You gonna hit it? Yeah, don't hit it. So, there's a real risk that 1, the ball gets stuck up there. Well, not stuck up there, but stops up there. 2, doesn't hit the ramp. Well, is it a ramp? The platform that you knock over. Or 3, if you jump on the platform too quickly, it actually freezes the physics of it. I should really come up with a new angle to hit that second pillar at, because it's like, okay, where I've been hitting it is really consistent, and it's consistently taking me more hits than usual. It's buttons. I have to say, the ball distance indicator and direction indicator is like one of the best things in this game. That is fine. Okay, less fine. That's a time loss. I think I may have missed this in my PB as well, though. Yeah. One of those should have taken the extra second thing, but if you take the extra second in every single trick, you add a lot of time to the run. Alright. Not falling into lava. Let's do that. Sounds like a plan. Alright, let's go, please. Thank you. No, yes. That was slow movement in there. But, hey, you know. What? I had the ball 2 into the corner, which I have not seen before ever. I mean, that's still faster than a death, and I'm still probably getting time here, but that is frustrating. I also didn't need to jump there. Yeah, since I've never actually seen that happen, I ran all the way out because I was like, I must have just not heard it. Still an okay time on this level. Yeah, that is a time loss though. Yeah, I'd say that took me like an extra 15 seconds or so. So, I guess I had a pretty similar run last time, except the button actually worked. And I mean, now I know about that, so if I see it exactly in the corner, I'll try and manipulate it a tiny bit as I hit that button. Oh, I also had the ball magnet screw up, which I had already forgotten about. And I think that button is like an extra 4 or 5 seconds. So, I guess I should be thankful. Yeah, lost 15 seconds there. Oh, okay. There we go. That's dumb. Still hit the cycle. You don't actually like need to hit the ball over any of that to hit the cycle. It is the best that swag can get. Doing something because it makes the next trick ever so slightly, that was slow, have a better window, but not save any time at all. Maybe optimization is the correct word, but... Hey, I'll take that. Usually you have to fight with those guys a little bit more, but... Alright. My least favorite cube. I want to mix this one. That was a little bit sketchy. You can't actually get stuck there if you try and go too fast. Okay. Alright, ball. Right there, please. I don't like how it's rolling. Could you stop that? Okay, that was a little awkward. Usually you don't jump when you get onto the switch, but I was just spamming jump, hoping that that worked. The ball can be too close to that pillar there and ricochet at a weird angle. You can not hit it straight and it ricochets at a weird angle. So either of those is pretty bad. Alright, do we get the kill? Yes. Please. No? Okay. There we go. This was trolling me earlier today too. I have a good setup for it, but it isn't 100%, which I'm not a huge fan of. But usually it doesn't take 3 tries. And that wasn't too bad. Come on. No? Okay. We'll do it that way then. That was okay. The bounce kind of saved that. Should be okay. Yeah. This one's a lot easier to get out than the cube in the first level, so I haven't failed it so many times that like I'm driven to try and control the entry with the ball. So I leave it up here because the ball actually can get in the way if you drag it down here and you're trying to move the cube, because the ball will just like roll into one of those troughs. I think I may have fought with the cube a little bit in my PB. A little bit. We'll have to see how this split lines up. Because I did have those couple fails on hitting the ball into that pipe. Which is such a non-issue most of the time, I don't even think like about that being a complex part of the level, but maybe I should. Should have been pulling a little bit sooner. You can get the ball to the magnet ASAP. Alright. The rest of this level is pretty straightforward. I do always have the opportunity to fall in lava though, so I'll try and not take advantage. I always step off to the right since I'm going around to the right. And those planks there, it's always so... like, there's this little voice in the back of my head where I'm thinking, this is too close, you're going to die. Okay, good. Alright, let's see how the AI is feeling today. Good. Great. Forgot to mash there, but it worked out. Okay. Those platforms are a tiny bit closer together than all of the rest of them, so the jump has a tendency not to line up. I did take it on the way over, but opted not on the way back. Just feels kind of like an unnecessary risk. This was okay. I mean, I got trolled by the ball once. Well, 2 times in one section. And somehow still got a gold split. Probably because I was able to free the cube quickly. That is not consistent. So I can hit these faster, but it seems like if you try and hit them right as they light up, the chance that it eats your input is higher. So on the current world record attempt, well, current world record run, he gets trolled by that. It just sits there and he has to hit the button like 4 times for it to work. And finally, we can jump down ramps. You have to wait until your mid-game reward to be able to do that. Don't swim. Yeah, didn't swim. Okay, straight. Right. Left. Left. Straight. Straight, right, left. Squeesh. Okay. Not getting anybody? Okay. What now? Did we get him? Yeah. Let's see if my input gets eaten by the cutscene. No, it didn't. Okay, that cutscene always seems to appear sooner than I think, but I think it's because I just forget about it a lot. I thought I'd miss the hit there because I didn't hear it activate right away, and so I stepped up to the side, and that's why I hit the fence there. I was thinking I was going to have to go back. Okay. Ball, please. Thank you. Alright, next up. Let's not get hit a million times by this enemy, because I have done that. I'm just gonna kill you now. Uh-oh. The ball had to be over here anyway. I don't know actually where that guy came from. Also, the ball is not over here anymore. Oh, that's the guy who's normally down here. Okay. I guess I was moving quickly enough that I aggroed him. I did not need to jump that far back. Okay, normally I'd jump back there, but I was a bit offset, so I was worried I wouldn't have jumped the correct direction. Oh, ho, ho, ho. No thank you, sir. Yeah, getting the ball stuck up top there is pretty bad. It's hard to get back on the track. Alright, a little bit of clench time now. I'm pretty sure I missed this trick in my PB. I'm gonna take my time here. It's really bad to miss that. It's a 45-second time loss, so even if I spend like 15 seconds setting it up, it's worth it. And it's a 45-second time loss if you have a really clean run through here, because normally you're down there. Okay, the ball can get stuck just there. But it's gonna play nice today. That was weird. It's gonna hit me for 5. Ow. And then we're good. Okay, that's fine. Whew, sigh of relief there. That's a major time loss that you can have. There's one like massive mistake I can make in Wicca. Okay, that was a little slow. Don't get stuck. Thank you. But just being careful can usually help prevent that. Not all the time. Yes. Okay. Also rolled around a bit there. All right, everyone's favorite cutscene. I don't even think I'm gonna try for the quick kill on this, because I used to think the quick kill was free, but it's really not. Especially since you can spend the time killing the ads instead, and they have a tendency to block bombs. Okay, yes. You're a gorilla. There you are. Okay, so please no. Oh, okay, good. I killed them both. I was about to say, those guys are lining up like they're gonna get in the way, and they did. It's one for the highlight reel. Got the double kill. Alright, so Wecca's next. Wecca, aside from the one like really big mistake you can make, is relatively free. You can gain and lose time, but there isn't anything that's gonna like really mess you up. Hi. Bye. little slow there. Tried to hit the ball out of my way, bonked on it a little bit instead. Okay, so yeah, this is going to be a just giant time save over my PB, because my PB did miss that trick. I'm fairly certain. Yep. Alright, so, okay. Please. There we go. Assuming I can get everything else roughly the same as my PB, should be good. Does not mean that will happen, though. Kahua 2 is a little random. Kahua 1's pretty good. It's a really slow level for, like, the quantity of tricks. There's, like, 4 tricks total. Granted, the last trick is the one that, like, skips a significant portion of the level, so I guess that's fair. Okay, yeah. I can make one other mistake, I guess, besides squishing the mummy, which is coming up, and that is near the end of the level if I save and quit during the wrong cutscene. I made that mistake actual one time, and it was yesterday during what would have been a new PB. I felt bad. Fortunately, the time wasn't, like, spectacular, so it wasn't the absolute worst thing, but it wasn't fun either, because even if you're not going to world record, improving your PB is good. Gives you better splits to be comparing against. I think my Hueca is a bit slow as well in my PB. At least it was slower than my previous PB, but I guess that doesn't mean much. Okay. Don't do it. Don't kill the guy. Okay. Oh, we missed. Alright. Okay, good. It's slow. He's gonna kill me slow. But, yeah. Killing that guy is really bad. Because then you can't die down in that section. And dying down in that section is what enables this glorious level skip. I don't think I can fit one more jump in here. Kind of a conservative distance here, but I'm on good pace. And it only saves like a second or so of airtime. Because if you get right up against the wall, you don't have to travel quite as far, but this is pretty close. On the button is the safe one, if you're like, put the ball directly onto the ball button. Okay. Oh, there's my last jump. Tiny bit high. Oh, okay, sure. Have to be careful mashing there as well, because if you mash too quickly, you jump. And it's not a jump in the right place to get over these invisible walls, and you waste a lot of time. Yeah, so remembering to quit during the right cutscene is important. And not dying to the boss is also important. So probably zigzagging through a bit more conservative of a route. Because the boss manipulation is really simple. It's just how confident are you that you've put the boss in exactly the right place in three-dimensional space, which sometimes I'm not confident. No lie. So even if this goes pretty slow, which, like, yeah, sure, it took the enemy an extra 5 seconds or something to kill me, I shouldn't lose 20 seconds on this, so I should still be a minute ahead. Alright, 2 more jumps. Going into the last 2 levels, which is good. Okay, that should be good. I might get over the wall here, but yeah, I did not mean to mash that extra time there. Okay, let's jump. Should be okay. The physics, when the ball, it has the, I don't want to call it anti-gravity, but the low gravity mechanic are strange, so normally you never want to be moving while you have the ball grabbed, the like green light, but jumping off of those towers, it doesn't make a huge difference, I don't think. It's maybe 3 seconds, if I'm being generous. Okay, so last time I did this, I went over to the right, and that didn't actually seem to give me anything, so since I'm here, I'm not going to walk it, but sometimes you can't jump over that pipe, or sometimes you can't walk over that pipe, you have to jump over it. So the minor risk here is that you hit the ropes, but as long as I don't undershoot it, even if I hit the ropes, it's fine. Okay, 1 more jump. There we go. There's the rope. Dunk. Okay, there's the save. Resume. Wrong button. There we go. Escape does not hit skip cutscenes. Please. Please. Yeah, occasionally the car just, like, gonna do car stuff. Oh, that's bad. Okay. Yeah, that's really bad. I don't like having 50 health going into this. So that was pretty slow, but I still only lost a few seconds. And by a few, I mean like a little over 10. That's weird. Well, I got stuck a little bit on the slope. Hopefully it pulled all the way first. Okay. Yes, we good. Yeah, it's like 90% of the time the ball will go into the car, no issue. And then every once in a while it just spits it back out. Up comes my least favorite cutscene. Why did you put it there? Why? It's a tiny bit far away. There's always the issue, though, of the ball getting stuck on the wheel because of how I angle the car in order to get around it more quickly. Okay. Yes, okay. Good. There's a faster way to do this, but this is the consistent way to do this, so... Okay, is it though? Is it even the consistent way to do this? Wow. At least I didn't take a death. I can make that time up on the boss, though. Can also make it up pulling the ball through here correctly, which I did. Alright, how is our appetite for fire today? Moderate. Oop. Yeah, so it's random if he dodges there. Okay, yeah, once the boss is a bit closer, you can manipulate him into taking swings. Right now I'm a little bit wary. One, because it's the last hit, so I have to have him in the right place. And two, because one more hit would have killed him there. Okay, thank you. Yeah, you can get blocked by the corpse there, and then the ball's just kind of stuck until you either navigate around it or it despawns, which doesn't take like a super long time. It's like 3 seconds or something, but still frustrating. No, okay. This is, there we go. It's a pretty easy clip, all things told. Fortunately, also not a particularly punishing one to miss. Yeah, movement for the past 2 levels for me has not been like super clean. But that's the dangerous stuff out of the way for this level. There's still a time loss I can take, depending if I get first try boost. And there's also a random time loss of a couple seconds depending on what the Steam cycle is. Otherwise, though, this should be this level over and on to the last one. And executing well on the bosses there. Should have a good time going. Not a great Steam cycle, because I'm not going to hit this. It could be like going away a couple seconds later, though, so it's not the worst. There's no control over that besides just go faster and catch an earlier cycle, so... Okay. Should be good. All right. So we'll see if I gained any time on this level. I feel like I didn't. The boss kill, I think, was roughly the same speed, and I had that extra jump that I had to do in the low gravity section. I'm pretty sure I got boost first time on my PB as well, because I'd set up a, or I'd found a setup for it by that point. Unfortunately, a lot of my setups have to do with what proportions of things are on a screen, and so I have no idea if they work at different resolutions. I would hope they do, but I also don't think this game has a field of view slider. But if it does, obviously messing with that would screw up about 3 of my setups. Okay. Looking pretty good. Looks like I'll be not losing much time here. A couple seconds. Hopefully I'm still a minute up going in. That'd be ideal. But yeah, should be about there. A little bit under, but still decent pace. Need to execute well on these bosses. And then I need the last section to go okay, but that isn't really up to me. Please, thank you. A little bit slow getting that loaded. Not a huge excuse for that. The movement is kind of hard. That's the only place where you're loading a minecart backwards, basically. So if you could get the ball in front of you and then grab it at a consistent time, slamming it in would be easy, but that's not usually how it goes. Okay. And you guys block the ball. Die. Okay, got one kill there. Should be the second. Yep, cool. Unfortunately, kind of far away from the door, but you really have to guarantee those kills, so. Alright, now we get a little bit more random. Yeah, the enemy movement here is, let's say, difficult to predict. The technical quick kill here is, is zapping them each alternating, since there are iframes that they get when they get electrocuted, but you're way more likely to die to like a random hit when you're facing away from one. There we go. Really? Okay, there we go. Yeah, actually I have to pull there. if you line of sight the ball, the chain stops. Alright, we got it. Any enemies coming at me? I'm sure there are, but I can't see them yet. No? Okay. So far so good. I got trolled a little bit by that enemy, but it was only a couple seconds. So here is the hardest one. Hardest one to do quickly. Also, I would say the hardest one not to die on, but people might disagree. If you're doing the mines optimally, you also have an okay chance of killing yourself. Okay. Come at me. Please, thank you. Okay, good. I hit them both, which is what I want. I'm hitting myself a lot, though. I think because... oh, wow. Somehow I lit the fire again, which is odd. Come on. There you go. Yeah, so this is going to take the same number of cycles that it usually does, but at least I don't have two enemies attacking me. Okay. Cool. Jeez, no thank you. Don't want any. Should be good. I still have two enemies chasing me. I'm at 45 health, so I'm probably going to take the reset here. Because otherwise it could go really badly. Depending on how many enemies spawn and how many get killed by mines, there could just be like too many to two cycle. So I'll take the time loss here. There is always the possibility of a one cycle, but it's unlikely. Basically, I have to get lucky on enemy attacks and have a couple of them hit mines. Yeah, only one hit a mine. Yeah, close, very close. I'll take the two cycle. I'll also jump the right way, hopefully. Alright guys, come get me. So there's a slight risk that they like kill me after the cutscene here, but... Hopefully that doesn't happen. Alright, 1, 3, 4, 7. Nine, 5, 8, 2. Hi. Six, 10. All right. Feeling good. I think this takes about 2 minutes. It's a lot of duders. Usually their AI doesn't turn on during this. Oh, there goes one.
Their intent was to better the tribes of man, to care for man as he was meant to care for all the creeds of the earth. But man had his own intentions. After the war, the survivors escaped with their wisdoms and repopulated the globe. Of this baptism of fire, man's children would live to spread contradictions and mysticism.
Alright, we're getting to 12-something. I know an 11-something's possible. As it should be pretty clear. It looks like I'm gonna get like a 12, 20-ish? Like 20x, maybe? Ooh, hello. Yeah, take out like even some of the mistakes I made here. Alright. Basically a 12-20. I mean, close enough. Yeah, so thanks to the people who kind of foreran this game for me. Dum Dum Dugan was, I think, the world record about 5 years ago, and then 2 years ago, LivingLooneyBin improved the route a little bit, and there's still work to be done. The ILs are not 100% optimized, and obviously there's improvement to be made on the any percent. What I'd like to see added is a all secrets any percent, because the all secrets route is pretty interesting. You go to several places that you just like don't even see in the any percent, not because you're skipping things, but because the secrets actually like take you on different routes, which is pretty cool. But I'm pretty happy with this run. Especially after spending the time to make some of the inconsistent tricks consistent, so it didn't take nearly as many attempts as I could.